Hello, everyone. Happy Friday or Saturday, depending on where you're on the date line. So, first and foremost, welcome to all of our new subscribers. You guys know the drill by now. We got to welcome them all in. Let's find out who our newest members of the Love Train are. Here, let's go. We've got Denver, Colorado. Welcome. Pickaway County, Ohio. Welcome. Northwest coast of Florida. Oh, I'm just picturing those white sanded beaches. Beautiful area of the country. Welcome. Ontario, Canada. Welcome. Ashland, Kansas. Los Gatos, California. Welcome. Chile, bienvenidos. And Houston, welcome. New Zealand, Australia. I love it. There, you're our Tomorrowland. You're on the forefront. You're getting there before we are. And North Carolina and Northern Georgia, all new to our channel. Welcome. Thank you so much for telling us where you're from. Thank you for sharing your experiences and your comments. You know, every single comment, as I'm finding, I've been guided to share just stories that sometimes may not feel really significant to me in the moment, but finding that it's resonating and it's helping us all through this, what a ride we're on, right? Yes, and I am going to get to a Schumann update. I noticed there's an interesting thing going on there, but there, the message today is really about what am I creating, and more importantly, who am I and why am I here? This is, I had a moment after, by the way, thank you to all of you that tuned in this morning and watched the podcast. I had a little downtime and I like kind of tuned in and was like, okay, what is going on here with this, with the energy today? And it was all about, I am divine source energy, and finding that inner space inside of you where there is stillness and connecting to, this is the truth of who we are. And talk, the one example that came in was, if you say things like, I always do this, and it's something that you really don't want to keep creating, you replace it with I used to. So an example, I always get sick, right? Cancel that and replace it with the opposite. But if you say that, saying I used to, put it, be done with it, because what it's the energy is so powerful now and so supportive of us as a creator. You've got to really, so when they're saying get in touch with your divine self, they're saying that to really go inward and see yourself. You are the divine focused into form, into human form. And I did do a couple episodes back, I did do a diagram on this showing you how kind of the from origin, source origin as a light, as an entity, and then focused into form. And we're a creator within our own creation. So the language we're using, and if you're saying, I am this, you're creating that, and be conscious of things like emotions, because you're not an emotion, right? You're a beautiful light source, you're light and pure love, and you are divine. And so they're really calling upon us right now to own that. That is the truth of who you are, and start to pay attention to your language. I have a couple of mantras that I use, and I'm not big, if a mantra isn't really sinking in, I don't use it, but these work for me. But make your own. But I'm just using these as examples, and these work for me. I just say, I am light, I am love. I am light, I am love. And I also use I am source, I am sovereign, and I am free. All of those are accurate statements, and they're accurate for all of you. Why? Because we are all one in unity consciousness. So it's an invitation now to really connect into that heart space and get out of the head. And when we go into the head, it's okay, why is this coming up? This is coming up because I'm holding on to something. So then you want to have that come up to be cleared. So when things come up to be cleared, like you recognize, you're like, you feel stuck, or you're like, why does this keep showing me? You don't need to dive back into the rabbit hole and re-experience it. You do not. Just the awareness around it, and then just give it love and say, I can release you with love and light. Because what happens energetically when parts get healed or cleared, whatever language we want to use, the human is not doing the work. So In other words, don't feel like you're failing yourself, right? Or you're failing the ascension process because you can't get it wrong. You can't fail at it. We're all ascending, we're all supported. What happens though is by you complying as the human and having awareness around it and allowing whatever the feeling it is to play out, if you feel the need to cry, allowing it to cry out and then release it to love and light, what's happening is with or without your cooperation, there's guides and angels and source surround that part with love. So energy is never destroyed or created, but it can be transmuted. And that's what we're doing here. We're transmuting everything that was not in of light and love. And that's why we've been in the washing machine so long, right? So I hope that that kind of can help some of you put some pieces together. And it's really, spend 5 minutes today and go inside, just 5 minutes of quiet time and go drop into your heart with those 3 deep breaths. That's your divine connection right there. That's where you remember the truth of who you are. That is what this evolution is about. It is a spiritual evolution about remembering the truth of who you really are. So I hope that helps. I want to bring up a couple of comments. Somebody asked if they were like falling behind because I used the term light workers and star seeds in one of the previous videos. So we do have many, many light workers in this community and star seeds. So light worker is a term that we use for these are souls who realize now in their human form oh, I am here for a bigger purpose. And many of them have been really aware of this for 20, 30 years and kind of waiting for the rest of us to wake up so they could start having some fun. So light worker really is someone that is on their personal mission. They have an awareness around it. They at some point said, why am I really here? And then the answer came and they're answering the call now. You don't worry if it's not resonating with you yet or not. You will know if and when it resonates. So I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get it's a layered onion here and I don't want to get too deep in it. So you don't want to get in the head over that. But if you start to feel that calling of, okay, wait a minute, I am here for a bigger purpose. Our primary purpose right now is the self-realization. So just make the focus on exactly what we're talking about, which is the evolution. Let's get through this washing machine. And then moving forward, I am going to be talking way, way more about conscious creation because right now, what we think we're creating, and if it's something that you don't want to recreate, having that awareness to say, oh, wait, I used to do that. Now I want to create the opposite. If you don't know what it is, just say, show me the opposite. Your soul already knows, right? Your guides already know. So it's a process and give yourself a lot of ease and grace in this. Star seeds, simply put, because I don't want to, that's another onion layer of the onion, but star seed has to do with your soul origin. So other experiences, other incarnations that you had that you brought with you here to activate during this time of awakening. And just by awakening, is when somebody asks, what is it awakening? It is remembering the truth of who you are, remembering that you're a divine soul incarnate for an experience here on earth. And the great awakening, what they refer to, is this moment in evolution where we forgot we were divine souls incarnate in a body. We literally forgot we were unconscious. So it's that consciousness coming forward and becoming aware of it and realizing that we can literally ascend out of lack, out of limitation, out of struggle, out of suffering. And so that's a short and probably the best way I could to describe it to you now without it going again. It's a multi-layered onion. Those are the basics, and I hope that answered your questions. And if not, send me another note and we'll get to it. Okay. Let me you know the drill now. Let me get my melon out of the way and we're going to talk about what's going on our beautiful graph. Okay, so here, this was taken about a little over almost an hour ago. Okay, so I pointed out a couple of things here because I found this to be interesting. So this particular, these white stripes here, this wide one, and then you see this thin one and this thin one. So I kind of tried to identify these on the chart. That is new energy coming in. I got very clear guidance on that one. It's straight on the third eye, and I can see, and this correlates. Remember, this is already retroactive. By the time it's happened in the Schumann, we have already felt it and experienced it. We've already received it. So what this kind of does is it kind of gives us a little evidence, right? We don't look for proof, but if they want to throw some evidence that helps us know that we're not going crazy, we'll take it every time, right? So this I have noticed now presents as almost a raised dimension above this part. And I circled it just so like the green background and stuff. And then in between there, for me, I'm seeing that as two different dimensions. And so when I like inquired about this, it's that we are in different, each of us as an individual is in a different level of receiving. So for some, their solar plexus are getting updated. So if you're feeling that, like what feels like the knot in the stomach, or maybe a feeling of anxiousness, that the solar plexus are definitely going through an upgrade. And I did see that with a couple of you mentioned some things, some feelings in the solar plexus. Um, and so it's a multi-level thing going on here because this is a deep integration. So it's the stitching. This is what we call the stitching here, deep integration. And then while simultaneously light is coming in. So the two scenarios that I was given is one is new high frequency light, and then for the others who, if you're still holding on to something and have need that purge, this light is assisting the purge. So it's pushing it up. Some of you are clear or clear, almost clear, completely cleared. So you're not going to feel the purge so much. Those who are still purging, you're still going to have those emotions coming up. You're still going to be like, what is this going on? Why is this? Why, right? That, or not understanding why you're feeling a little spicy or saucy or sad, whatever it may be. That means that, that this light is assisting you. It's all helping us. So this is all good. I don't, not a big fan of the word symptoms. I like sensations because we're not sick. We feel like we're going bananas, but we're not. So it's the purging has to come through us to clear. So that's what's going on. And then this was a straight full body shot of light here. You can see right at the very edge. That must have happened like by 11:30, I would guess my time, Pacific time. And so that's a full body thing. Absolutely. I am already feeling there's more light coming in. I can now sense it very, very distinctly when it's about to come in. So I'm going to flip over to the chakra chart because I got another message about the chakra chart too. Okay, so here we go. You can see here, this is a big push to the crown here. A little blip here in the solar plexus, but you can see over here, this one's a little hard to see because it's behind this copyright, but so you can see here and look at this one. This is the solar plexus. You can see how far up that's shooting. And so that's going to feel very real to a lot of you. And you can see that it was a thin band, but it's intense. See, so it wasn't for a prolonged period of time, but this was an intense frequency that came in I'm going to guess it was about an hour ago. So that, again, depending on where you're at in your journey, it's either helping you to push stuff up. So this couldn't feel a little yucky at first, or you're clear. Now you're going to receive this, and this is going to help your gifts come online. This is where now, in any situation, okay, wherever you're at in your journey, here's a good practice we're in the 5D. We're actually accessing higher dimensions than that, but for now, let's stick to 5D. So are you in your mind? Are you feeling an emotion? Are you in your truth? And the truth is that feeling and not thinking at all. It's how does this feel? Should I eat this? How does that feel? Does it feel good, or are you having thoughts about why you're picking this? Is it right? Is there any kind of fear or guilt or shame? Worry about your body. Oh, another great piece I want to add too is about speaking about the body. Renee did a beautiful. We have a small meditation group that we do um, once a month, and her guides brought in a really powerful piece there. And I don't know if this applies to any of you, but for anybody that felt like they were putting on weight with no explanation, like they didn't change their eating habits, and all of a sudden they're putting on weight, the some of our bodies are doing that because they needed the energy to assimilate. The body needed it. The body needed it to assimilate. So the big thing is keep loving your body, keep telling your body it's doing a great job, and don't get frustrated with that because it is our bodies are adjusting to whatever they need to do to go through this ascension process, and including it may include that you've put on some weight that you're kind of confused as to where it's coming from. Some people I heard are actually losing weight too, not on purpose, but because they were having a lot of nausea and stuff. So these are all upgrades, and just keep giving your body love is the main message there, because the body is doing like really miraculous stuff right now. And so just write it out and don't worry, tell it it's amazing every single day and that you love it. And that'll help get you through. And just in dealing with everyday situations, if you feel a little off kilter, you're feeling low, I call in my source light. I call on my source light. We have the ability to call it in a moment, 3 deep breaths. And particularly like with solar plex integration, I found when mine do, I have to slow way, way down and take those deep breaths, and it does help. So that's where we're at today on Friday. And we've got, let's see, there's a new episode. We will be on the air on Monday morning. And then next Friday, we have a special guest who's another sound healer, and she actually deals in voice activation. So you're going to want to see that, because this is something that is really, really a big, big skill moving forward for all of us. So I hope you enjoy this. Anyway, keep the comments coming, keep sharing, keep loving each other. It's so great. I was given an image by my guides today, and it kind of, when you always say, why am I here? And they showed a bunch of us just lined up with our eyes closed, with one hand on a shoulder of the person in front of you. And as new people were coming in, they were putting their hand, they were just feeling for the next person and putting their hand on the shoulder. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And we're creating this all around the globe. So, if anybody wants to know why you're here, that should help. I love all of you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys when the energy calls. Have a good one.